What's up everyone? So it's that time again. We're off to Drift Masters in Finland. I'm sure this is going to be an action-packed weekend. Crazy track, really technical. It's going to be interesting to see how the Mustang fits on that tight and technical track. But let's get on the road, head to the airport, get to Finland and see what it's all about. Alright, so we've just arrived here at Power Park in Finland for the second round, well officially second round of Drift Masters, third round on the calendar because round one was obviously cancelled. Crazy track, it's on a theme park, really amazing background, backdrop. The theme park is open so we can now, today's kind of a day off. We're setting up tomorrow, we can go on the roller coasters, have some fun. It's Becky's birthday tomorrow as well, so we'll definitely be having some fun with that with all the team. But quick track walk to start our weekend. Looks like the very same layout as last year. We got a wall on the outside, and if you can make out on camera, this is kind of crazy and unlike any other track. So you start on the entry, come straight out to the wall at the start of the zone, and this is all on an elevation. So I can't even think of any other tracks where you have a wall run as the track is going up, then it goes back down, then it starts going up, so your grip levels are changing throughout the whole first corner, and it is tricky, and it's hard to even say if this is a perfectly smooth round circle. I know from driving it, it doesn't feel like it, but it's a very challenging first corner, especially if it does start to rain. It's insane because you're on the original karting track surface on entry, then it changes to new tarmac all the way down to this line here, then it goes back to where the old track is cutting. So surface change number 3 on the first corner, then down here it changes to new again, and just as you're coming off the corner it goes back to the old original surface. So in the rain this is one of the most impossible tracks because on one corner there's 5 surface changes. Very challenging. So as you can see, for Drift Masters they add in 3 big grandstands on the first corner, which is on the actual karting track that they run here. You have your main grandstand on the main straight, and then on the last corner another grandstand. So last year there was over 10,000 people at this event, and honestly it was one of the craziest atmospheres I've ever experienced in drifting. So I'm sure the Finnish fans are going to bring it back again this year. Crazy, they're loud, they're having a party for the whole weekend. The vibe is just magical. I'm pumped, cannot wait to drive the Mustang RTR on this track. Like, it's really tight, it's really technical, multiple wall runs. So you come off the wall in the first corner, pick up an inner clip right there, small transition, then you're shooting out to the next wall run. Run that wall, then you're going back downhill, transition onto another wall which goes over a bump, and it really tightens up. Transition back, you have another outside zone before going up onto a banked wall run at the end. So it is challenging, it's tight, it's technical, it's beautiful. Hello, birthday girl.
Hello.
So it's Becky's birthday tomorrow.
Sure is. I'm going to be 23.
23, yeah, I'm doing well. Listen, 23 plus tax.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. It's going to be challenging, but let's see what the Mustang is like on a tight technical track. So this is a very technical part of the track. I'm not sure what is harder. I feel like first corner is very challenging no matter what, because you're trying to follow that wall that's changing elevation and curve, but then you come around, tag the second wall on the other side, then you're coming flat out, taking angle out of the car before building as much speed as possible, and the car almost unloads over this outer clip here, and you go to really big angle, scrub speed before transitioning onto the banked last corner, back up onto the wall near the last grandstand. So very challenging, but very rewarding when you get it right. Mikey, what's the plan?
Flat out.
Flat out.
Flat out.
No lift.
No lift.
Anyway.
Just get her into torque and just sit right down, lock everywhere.
Lock everywhere, job done.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah. Sounds simple. I'll try it.
Yeah.
And if I don't lift and crash, will you fix it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
simple.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to see how steep it is, you can just, she is off. It's pretty banked.
Let's go, let's do this.
Happy birthday! What's up, man? Why aren't you on a roller coaster?
They're not for me. They're not for me. Even though I'm so tall, I don't like heights.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But good taking the team out on them, and Becky is loving them the most. She absolutely loves them, but we'll see what they thought of that one. Like, it's pretty fast.
James always leaves me alone when we're on roller coasters because he doesn't like them. It's very sad. But no, he's such an adrenaline junkie, like the way he drives. Like, I wouldn't do that, but then like suddenly just a roller coaster's out of the question.
This one's the best one, right? What do you think, Chris?
That was pretty good. Big black bull.
Put in!
Oh, I can't believe I got that.
Yeah! What do you think won?
You, Lucas.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. I don't believe it.
No.
Like we should
18 grand for the price one, does it?
So, wrapped up team golf with the lads. Very good crack. Very enjoyable, very competitive, lots of cursing. I mean, we all wanted to do well, but we're crap.
Yeah.
Just keep sketched out.
I'll bite. I've only one blower.
No, it's fine.
Oh jeez, I thought there was no one here.
She go like Becky!
Yeah?
Birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Becky! Happy birthday to you!
So we're here, Drift Masters round 3 in Finland, and today is the start of the competition. We have our first practice, we have qualifying, and also the tandem showdown later on for the top 4 guys that make it. So interesting to be watching practice because there's 3 different groups, so we get to see a lot of the other people, seeing how they're approaching the track. Super tight and technical track. Already very close tandem, so the competition level is going to be insane this weekend. Now, I'm excited to drive the Mustang here. It's a pretty tight and technical track for such a big car, but we're gonna give it our best and see how we get on. I'm excited for it, and let's see how it's running and take it all one step at a time. So, fingers crossed.
You need to be deep in all zones. You need to be really on the edges, running the wall, making the transition in the right time. That will be very crucial, especially coming from outer zone 2 to inner zone 3 and then to outer zone 4. It will be very hard to connect it correctly. This will be the place which will determine drivers, the best ones from the good ones. I'm quite eager to see how James will be able to fit in, because that's the only car on the track which can fit the inside zone and put the wheel off, but we'll see.
First set of laps done and it feels good. So the car is running great out of the box, fitting nicely over this track even though it's really tight, but it's a real good challenge. Car feels great to start with, so let's start dialing things in now, pushing harder and harder, and let's see where we end up.
You're not supposed to look at the camera.
I wasn't looking at the camera.
Okay, first practice session done. I think we got 8 laps, so it's really cool here at Drift Masters, especially on tight tracks like this where there's not much space. So they let you do a lead and a chase as you go out. So you're only warming up the tires once. You do your lead run, come back around, switch positions, do a chase. So you get a lot of practice. You're both practicing your qualifying line and seeing how we're faring for tandem later on as well. It feels very solid. The car's running a lot smoother, a lot crispier than in Spain, which is great. Yeah. Like, we have lots in the car, so we can add grip. People are already fast out there, but we're not focusing on just speed. We're like, okay, let's try to dial in our line 100% and go from there. So focus on qualifying today and worry about battles tomorrow. But even in the chase position, we've had some nice chase runs in the first corner with Jack Shanahan and a couple of other guys. In general, feeling pretty okay. Just need to make it work when it counts. I ordered a mattress off Team, but it didn't arrive yet, so their shipping isn't the best. just having a quick drivers meeting with Kilovolt drivers before we go out for our last practice session ahead of qualifying. Hopefully get a couple of good leads in here and see how it goes, but looking forward to it. Hopefully just get in the zone and do everything we need to do when we need to do it, so fingers crossed.
I'm alright, Lucas.
Yeah.
How are you?
I feel you're buzzing after the last round, right?
Good confidence boost, you know, at the start of the season for sure. Car feels good. It's quite fast and it's like handling pretty well and stuff. So very happy with that. And first couple of laps here were also quite smooth and stuff. Seems quite fast. So yeah, like we're in a good place for sure. So hopefully we can just hold the head. Wake up a small bit because I'm very tired today. So.
Are you having trouble sleeping as well?
Yeah, man, the daylight is a disaster, and like obviously time zones came from FT last week with James also, so it's yeah, it's just very busy schedule, and you know it's hard work, but we better go, but keep at it.
So we're just watching qualifying. We're towards the end and we get to see how the track is looking from the camera point of view. And yeah, just chilling out with the guys. Everything is pretty smooth. The last practice was very good. Hopefully I can do what I did in one of my last practice laps in qualifying. So we'll try our best, and fingers crossed, I hope it doesn't rain.
Actually nervous. It's weird because I'm more nervous about it than if I was driving in a competition myself, because obviously we have to make sure the car is right, and James is nervous, so we're nervous. So fingers crossed. There's a little bit of rain, but the track looks dry, so hopefully it's okay.
The rain's just ever so slightly changing the conditions a little bit, but just hoping he can do a good run. He's been doing really well in practice. I'm just trying to keep out of his eye line. I always try and stand away from his eye line so he doesn't, I'm not in his way. I just, yeah, really hoping for a good result here for him. Woo! I don't really get nervous, and I'm a bit nervous, and I don't really know why. I've got to interview him next as well, so I'm just like, all right, cool. Think of a good question. How was that? Are you okay? What's your favourite colour? Do you have any pets? Do you scrunch or fold? Email or text?
Well, here we go, back on the run we go with James Deane in his brand new Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5.
Okay. Okay. Come on, baby. You got this. Come on, James. Nice. On the wall. Lovely. Yeah,
I cannot understate how massive this Mustang is. They are gigantic. And James makes it and handles it like it's tiny. Makes it go around this course, almost looks weightless throughout the whole thing. Just floats around. You can try and figure out where's there. Man.
Wow!
Yeah.
A 98.5 for James.
Yes, mate! Look at that, mate! Goosebumps!
Deane. He tops qualifying with the perfect line score.
Unreal. That's a good first run now. We can breathe again. Oh, yeah. Put it down, Lucas.
Not bad.
What was it?
98.
Not too bad for a first
You guys had to put on the salad on first, like.
Oh my god. Yeah, so it just started, like, my biggest fear from last year almost came true. Last year it started raining right before I qualified and I got a 0 on my first lap last year. So the windshield was covered in water with a few cars to go and I was like, oh no, don't do this to me again. We were lucky that it stopped raining and I got to do my run, but I felt like the track still wasn't back to 100% grip. I threw it in hard into the first corner, almost got a bit of like understeer for a split second, but held the rest of the run true. So very happy, 98.5 points in the first lap, we'll take that.
Why do you gotta make me cry, bro? Why do you gotta make me cry?
Poor boy from the backwoods, thought I never would find my way. Sweet girl, straight from downtown, where I was just another face. They said that we should steer clear of each other.
Alright, lads. Nakamura versus James Deane. Dream battle, y'all.
1100 horsepower, naturally aspirated V8 with a little touch of nitrous that goes against 1000 horsepower Toyota GR86 2JZ. Nakamura, he's got the style, he's got the flair, but sometimes brings too much aggression in competition. Fresh tyres on the car, fresh fuel. Maybe not some fresh drivers, they'll be tired after that action, but here we go, through the gears they go, fire in, James Deane. Nakamura, a little wobble, tries to find Deane, Deane goes wide, holds it onto the circuit just about, they both slow down for that final outside zone across the line.
That's what I was talking about earlier. I mean, James Deane is incredible, but he is not perfect. There are still mistakes that can happen. Interesting. Another bit of a mistake there from James Deane.
So there we go. Yeah, Nakamura just says he's way taller than me. That's all I've got.
Yeah. I mean, he is a very, very tall man. Two legends.
He's like a proud dad, James Deane.
Yeah, two legends of the sport, though. Super cool to see.
Well, here we go. Side of left for Deane, right for Nakamura. Who's going to take it through? It's going to be Nogi. Nakamura takes the win.
Wow.
Advances on to our qualifying showdown final.
We survived day one of Drift Masters. Qualifying was complete. We made it to the qualifying showdown once again. I managed to qualify first place with my first run with 98.5 points. So super pumped on that. 2 first place qualifyings in the Mustang RTR in the first 2 Drift Masters events. So that in itself I should be really proud of, but of course I'm very competitive. In my showdown runs I was battling Naoki Nakamura and it was starting to drizzle a little bit again. Raindrops on the window. I flicked into the first corner. I was just a bit anxious, you know what I mean? Like, not really feeling it, especially after the crash we had in round 1, and it's the showdown again, and maybe some different thoughts going around. I played it a bit too safe in the entry, and then I'm like, okay, now trying to make it back up. And then second corner, I was going as hard as I possibly could in the Mustang, and I transitioned over the jump, and I think I backed off the power probably nearly a second later than I did in qualifying, and carried too much speed, dropped 2 tyres off into the dirt. It was a huge mistake. And then in the chase, he kind of got me. He was very good off the line, so he got me on the straight. I should have been a bit sharper, but I kind of almost gave up in the battle because the lead was such a big mistake. I wasn't too happy with my driving in those 2 runs, but I feel like I learned some lessons that we can take into the main battles tomorrow in Top 32. So now we get to check over the car, but the car ran perfectly all day, no issues whatsoever. Very happy with it. Tomorrow's a new day, and we get to learn a few things and push a bit harder, so fingers crossed for that. Alright, so main event day here at Drift Masters in Finland. Car's running awesome, but the track is taking a big change. So we had a wet practice, not this wet, it's just after getting like torrential right now, it's really bad. So, don't know what to expect on the first battle in Top 32. We're happy with how our practice went. The car's been running great, felt solid in the wet conditions. It's the first time driving this car in the rain. Some great leads, great chases. So we're battling Nassar in Top 32. Yeah, just quickly check over the car now. But there is a chance that there's going to be standing water on the track for the first few battles. So let's see what happens. We have to be prepared for every eventuality, and we'll just try our best, one step at a time.
The first one must have been packaged wrong, because there's one side that...
What is this? This is like a repeat of 2024. We had rain in Finland in 2024 and it was carnage.
Yeah.
So I really don't want that today. I just want it to stop. But like I just took a look at the radar and it's not looking squeaky. But you know what? You'll be fine. You're going to be, I don't know, somewhere warm and dry. I'm going to be outside waiting to...
I'm ready for the first
Did you buy that?
I just bought that.
How much was it?
30 euros. It's worth every penny.
I was going to say, I was like, they're going to make an absolute killing.
Deane sits on the line in that lead position alongside Nasser Al-Habali, a man, like we say, that he's met in competition before. Serious amounts of rubber. That rubber overnight has been dragged up off the track, so it is just a wet track now, but still, who knows what's going to happen. Here we go. They get the green light ready to go, and the first battle of Top 32 is underway. Deane to lead out Nasser Al-Habali as the pyro fires off at the side of the track. Deane kicks that skyline, that Mustang across the circuit. know what way this is going to go, and it is James Deane that gets the win and advances through to the top 16.
All right, so we're through our top 32 battle against Nasser. I had a very good lead, and the track, there was big puddles down by outer zone, I think 5, just after the jump. Big, huge flood on the right-hand side of the track, so the track is a lot narrower there, unless you go off into the water. He was doing a great chase on me until the last corner, and he dived up, made contact and spun out, so I had a pretty big advantage. But I gave him a strong chase anyway, just to feel out all the conditions, and felt strong throughout the whole run. So we're moving on to top 16. I think we got Juha Rintanen, local Finnish driver, next. So that's going to be fireworks for sure. We'll have to give it our best.
Well, here we go, time for top 16, and as we always say, and I think we will always say it, the time for talking is over, but it's time to walk the walk. And as we were getting through that intro for our top 16, the rain began to fall once again here in Finland after a little break in the weather with that top 16 parade. Now these guys treated to a full wet circuit, so it looks like we could be full wet throughout the whole of competition. It's going to be Deane to lead out Rintanen for a spot in the Great 8 awaits for one of these guys. They put the cars into gear, they come off. Deane to lead out Rintanen, the higher qualifier decides to lead first as he flicks that Mustang RTR across the circuit. Nice line as Rintanen puts it into a spin, puts himself in the middle of the circuit. He's going to try and reinitiate his own.
From earlier on in top 32, finding a really good line through this. Seeing, I mean, he was one of the first drivers up before, so it becomes very difficult to know what you need to do. So I'm sure he sat back and watched everybody else's runs to see where the grip is, see where they can find the most speed.
James Deane gets the win, advances through to the Great 8. Unfortunately, Juha Rintanen out of competition, and he will be back in Mondello Park.
Just in from our top 16 battle with Juha Rintanen. Track was wetter than it's ever been this weekend for me driving on it. We made some setup changes to the car. Feels good. We're going to make a small tweak now again because we won our battle. I had a great lead and a huge advantage after the lead, and then I had a great chase too. So we're going to see if we can find another little bit of grip because the track is like an ice rink. So let's see what happens. Great start to the day. We're into top 8. So worst case scenario, it's a 5th place finish. So let's try to get into the top 4. Let's keep pushing.
How was that?
Good. Wait for good. Yeah, no, like Rintanen's a good driver, so it was nice to get that done and dusted on top 8 now and see who actually won the next battle. But onwards and upwards.
Good luck, brother.
Well, we've whittled 46 drivers down to just 8 so far, and we're going to keep whittling them down until we get to one winner. One of these guys will stand on top of the podium here in Finland. Will it be the man that won here in 2023, or will it be the man who won in 2024? Or will James Deane put a spanner in the works and put that Mustang RTR on the top step this weekend? Who knows?
It could be a wild card too. Anybody here could do that. There is no foregone conclusion in drifting. Anytime you think you know what's going to end up happening, drifting throws you for a side quest and takes you in a completely different direction.
And it certainly does. Here we go. We're going to move on with our first battle of our top 8. It's going to be James Deane to take on the Polishman Paweł Korpulinsky. Korpulinsky pulls up into that chase position. Deane opting to lead first. He's felt out those conditions. As I said, he's been He drove in full wet so far all day.
And he's used to being in the lead. He's a driver that traditionally is qualified very high. He is very used to leading first. So for him, just keep the momentum going. Don't change anything and drive your race. But I mean, Pavel is a clinical driver. We have two drivers with incredible lines. Man, this will be tight.
It certainly will be tight. There we go. The Mustang RTR spent 5 years.
Just tapping. He was stoked. Yeah. Absolutely stoked for that chase run. And Pavel, I mean, he just, look at, you can, I mean, there's some marks on there. I don't think those were there earlier.
Yeah, for Pavel Korpulinsky. He took that risk on that final outside zone and it paid off. You see Deane taking a little cheeky glance out the window to see if he was still there. Come off the line, Korpulinsky to lead in Deane as they slam through the gears. A big clutch kick from James Deane as he puts that Mustang sideways now, looking for the door of Korpulinsky's S14. He takes a little dive, goes closer as Korpulinsky absolutely dialed and settled in that long outside zone too. Now works his way around. This is beautiful from Korpulinsky. Oh, they go bumper to bumper on the transition. And I think Deane thought that was going to open in. It goes right for Morgan. And now starts to try to score. Works himself back into the battle as Korpulinsky deals with the bobble. Keeps that shallow line, trying to find that grip, trying to drive away from James Deane. But Deane is there on the door across the line.
Oh man, just even a little sandwich nudge there at the very end. But this to me is going to come down to these transitions because every zone was filled so well. It really comes down to how committed you are to it. But
well, here we go. The decision's in. Left for James Deane, right for Korpulinsky. It's gonna be a one more time. Here we go. Korpulinsky sits on the line, ready to rock and roll. He knows how James Deane, where he positions that car, how fast he is. What would he have done? Would he have said to the team, I need a little bit more grip, I need a little less grip, I need to do this, I need to do that. They would have felt each other out. Deane lifts the clutch on the Mustang and pops the front wheels up in the air as he accelerates down the straight, kicks the clutch to go down into the initiation. And Korpulinsky shallows up the angle. As he throws that S14 to the side of the Mustang.
Maybe smoke, maybe steam coming off the back end of James Deane through their final outside zone. Things might be drying up.
It certainly might be drying up. It's heating up on track. No wonder it's drying up out there.
Really tough one is the track conditions ever changing and the competition, as you said, heating up as we get through these battles.
Yeah, it certainly is. So waiting for the decision from our judges to drop in. That was a tough one for them to decide on last time. I can see the judges talking amongst themselves once again as both guys out of the car waiting to receive the decision. Who's going to make it through to the final four after the one more time battle? Still one more battle to go, but this one to be decided. Side of left for Deane, right for Korpulinsky. It's one vote for Korpulinsky. It's Pavel Korpulinsky to get the win, and he takes down James Deane.
Wow. This is what I mean. James Deane, you know, I was inarguably the greatest drifter of all time. He is not perfect. Things happen, but Pavel, shocked. Absolutely shocked, but so well deserved for laying down that type.
Right, so just wrapping up our event in Finland. 5th place overall finish, got knocked out in top 8 after a very close battle with Pavel Korpulinsky. We went one more time. I was disappointed because I felt like we had stronger areas and I thought maybe we'd go one more time again, and in some areas I felt like we had to win. So just one of those events that the track was changing every single time, and even the difference between doing our first battle and then the one more time, the track was changing a lot. So starting to grip up in areas, very tricky. The same for every single competitor out here today. So definitely thought that we could have reached the podium today, but you know, it is what it is. I must say the team have worked really well, making sure the car is 100%. Absolutely not a single problem with the car this weekend. Now it's going back to Ireland, back to HQ. We get to go throughout the car in very much detail before we go to our home event in Mondello Park. So I'm super excited about that. Cannot wait to debut our Ford Mustang RTR in Mondello Park in front of the home crowd, and I'll be giving it my absolute everything to do as best I can. So thank you all for the support. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.